Alright, welcome back everybody. Last time we left off, we had figured out that we needed Allagan adamantite, and to get that, it's basically spread all around pieces of Dalamon from way back when. And pretty much all our friends are currently trying to find that stuff, so we are now out of our Ascian robe. It's about time to change out, I guess. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics, we will only know if they meet your requirements once they arrive. In the meantime, is there aught else we might do for your service? Hey, you've already done more than enough. If I have to say, though, I could use someone who knows a thing about Allagan technology. You there, the lad of red eyes and matching hair, you seem to know more than the average scholar. Hey, if only Master Kokol knew how right he was. Well, he and Graha established a rapport. Why don't we help with preparations for the Great Exodius? Indeed, this would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement, but I propose this not to curry favor. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traversing the Great Expanse. If nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers? If you mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Shirley and Hamlet is lousy of researchers and scholarly types, busying themselves preparing for the Exodius. Heh, that lot needs a lot more help than they can get. Well then, off we go. Yeah, we already picked up the Hamlet Etherite, but since it's right next door, it's not really much of an issue to go there. That's actually a bit farther than I thought it was going to be. Maybe I should have used my mount. I think we're just about there, aren't we? Or no, maybe it's even still a little further on. Huh? From what I can tell, a lot of people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholar Monthachai mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. Let's speak by the Etherite once our work is done. Helping with the Ark, even if all the power Master Krokai's managed to squeeze out of the ether burner, it's still not enough apparently. Now I hear the final days have arrived, horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we'd begun the Exodius sooner. People are dying and there'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We've spent years preparing for this moment, believe in the plan, and all will be well. I see a blue quest, I think, over there. So that's nice to see. No item from that. Hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Working on the ether burner. Oh dear, I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. You Even so, choose that over my current duty, checking and loading samples day in, day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one's feel cross if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The forum's got enough on their plate as it is. Whoa, deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. A lot of powerful people have opinions about that. My heart goes out to Master Fornot, and the others. How are they getting a moment's rest, I suspect? Do they even have time to sleep? Oh, we got a bracelet here. Heavens forfend, to think this would be happening in my kitchen, the nerve. Oh, you there, yes, you. You're looking for a woman who knows what she's about, and I'm in desperate need of one such as you. Pick myself a bushel of Malagon Acronomics apples, but wouldn't you know, some nasty Mandragora swiped those red beauties from under my nose. Not sure how they got in here in the first place, but that's beside the point. I could well try to steal them back myself, but goodness knows how many hours it'd be before I'd stumbled upon that blasted bandit. I'm only one woman, I can't cover all the ground by myself, so be a friend and help me get my apples back, would you? I just need you to oblige me. Now then, let's talk strategy. I'll scare the area just south of here, so you take the north, deal? Mandragoras bury themselves in the dirt to hide, so if you see one of those bulbous heads poking out of the soil, hit them with one of those Malgadorus bombs. They'll be so surprised to get a face full of stink, they'll leap out and leave behind my apples. The thief will probably take off running, but let them go. I just want my pilfered fruit returned. Besides, Mandragora carcass is on the menu tonight. Right then, I'll leave you to your search. Happy hunting. Excuse me, ma'am. I couldn't help but notice that you're in a way about you that simply screams of affinity for creatures of the wilds. And since I'm never wrong about such things, might I trouble you? You see, amongst the troops of trolls living in the outer circuit, I came upon one who would stick beyond measure. I took the poor creature in at once I saw him healed, of course, but when I attempted to return him to his rightful home, he flew into a panic, as if he could not bear the thought of going back. To make matters worse, the troll saw fit to escape into a den of Annelans. I'd go after him, but I'm so fumble-footed I'll scare him off just like as not, and be torn limb from limb for the pains by the fiends. So I turn to you. Would you seek out this troll which I spoke? I shall provide you with his favorite food, and with it you should be able to calm the piteous creature down. Hopefully there'll be enough to see his senses restored for him to come hurrying back. And though I shudder to think of it, if any of those fail Analas seek to impede you or pester that troll, make those beasts regret their interference. Oh, don't worry, you'll be rewarded for your efforts. Alrighty. Looks like we only get one blue cluster around here, for the moment at least. There's the other settlement on the other side of this thing, so I'm sure we'll get one or two from there too. Don't need any salads, so I'm good. Alright, so we only got a bracelet for the moment. Alright, I think I just have to throw the powder at it, right? Garlic was not happy. The gobsmacked Garlic was so offended by your pestering it has fled. It doesn't appear to be the culprit you were after. The defendant takes no leave of you as it turns off. It doesn't appear to be the culprit you're after. So it must be this one then, huh? The quizzical queen up and flees in the flesh of state, leaving behind apples. It would appear that this Navish Mandragora was behind the fruit napping. Hooray! The apples have been found. Alright. Honestly, I could just teleport right back, can't I? Alright. Going to return this one real quick and then get to the troll one. Ah, there you are. I've come up empty-handed, that is to admit. How did you fare? Were you able to recover the apples? Yes, I was. Where are they? You were? Oh my, I can't thank you enough. For goodness me, now that I have a proper look at them, they're rather enormous, aren't they? Funny how I didn't see that before. Labyrinthos, as you've surely noticed, is entirely man-made, and our continued prosperity is thanks in part to the elemental reactor and the false sun. Though if truth be told, those two things are likely to blame for our oversized fruit. Word is that there's research afoot to see if the above-ground orchards could produce something of a similar size as well. Given what little we know, though, I'm sure that day is quite a long way off. Oh, begging your pardon, here I am talking your ear off, and I'm sure you've better things to be going on with. Heaven so, I certainly do. Apple pies don't make themselves, now do they? Thank you again for your help. There we go. Fine, get our bracelet now. 545, nice. I'm going the wrong way. Oh, I didn't even realize it was raining. Alright, just get on our horse, why not? We're kind of surrounded by the analysts, you know? Alright. Holy circle, come on. Probably just finish that one off now. Grr. Here, have a fruit. Wow! There we go. That was simple and easy enough. Look, he's returned. I can't thank you enough. I know that may not look it, but trolls are quite intelligent. Indeed, they are an intrinsic part of the woodlands of Labyrinthos. Keep it healthy and thriving. We have a responsibility to put down the more violent and unruly ones. The most trolls, such as this one, are kind and docile things. In fact, my friend here has a real chance of becoming leader of his tribe, perhaps even guardian of the forest someday. It was we who saw these creatures removed from their natural habitats and relocated here in Labyrinthos. Thus we're responsible to watch over them, to ensure they are well, and it would be too cruel to dispose of one simply because they're under the weather. And yes, your reward, here as promised. It's high time I saw this fellow return to the Outer Circuit. Farewell, adventurer. Alright, so we just need 2 more of the blue ones. Still need to find one more of the researcher people. Ah, there they are, okay. Offering to help, that's very kind. I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly a list of things we need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busy after we depart. Many of the lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. Perfectly honest, not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not some enormous looming giants. I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like that behind rabbit that ran by. A beheaded rabbit. Oh, did we check this person? I don't remember if we did or not. Oh yeah, we did. They had this out. Okay. Fancy meeting you here, Narn. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is the Ethereus itself, though now we found ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniature version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all the time to prepare, and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we plan on doing until we chance upon Yarn J and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? Her leg gear, okay. A tour of Labyrinthos. An unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway Burrow, it would be in our best interest to have the Leopards acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by the Charlian collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. Mayhap thou art best suited to lead this venture. What a marvelous idea. Might we begin with the great big what's-it over there, I wonder? Ah yes, the what's-it. I shall leave explanation to Narn. The big old what's-it. Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magics is positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features. Alright, let's go ahead and use the zoom-in cam. That's what I like to call this bit. Yeah, it's a little hard to see from here, but is that golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? I can see through the window another pipe at the bottom. That's supposed to be for purifying water drawn up from below. A bird? He spotted an ambryostoma, an especially lively one at that. It appeared that the concept he observed in another time and another place was approved for life in the water world, somehow. Nice. Mushroom-like thing, alright. This looks like the trees in the Greatest Ensville. Hold on, that's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. That makes sense, that's where they store the water. Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? Must be because of those cogs and the gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see, that's how they drop the water. That's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too. Well, if I had to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably from some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. Am I right, ain't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would only take a moment to install even the harshest environments, for us Loporrits, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that people of Aetheris sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Many settlements in Thanalan are built near an oasis. So wherever you choose to live, you're not very far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure that necessary amount. We could provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear that we rely on it far more than we anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order, once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place. Master Alphanod spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Lycoston Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Loporrits will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary of the Charlian hamlet. I'll lead the way. You mean we'll brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We cannot help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of the settlement. Were we not escorted by burly custodians, I dread to think what would become of us. Regrettably, too many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big nasty teeth, Loporrits may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. I impose upon thee to assist our securing safe passage to Lycoston Alpha. For my part, I shall act as an escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. Come along, Growing Way, to the water extraction, what's it? Yeah, we have a little bit of ways to go from there, I think. Yeah, here's something for us. Couldn't get away with not having to fight something. And Anala, yep, that sounds about right for this area. And down. Thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of this fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you. Some interesting sections to have to go through, really. We're not too far now, at least. Yeah, it was probably a good choice to get all the ether currents around the area first, too. Because I'm happier not having to worry about that now. I just need those other 2 blue quests to pop up. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be part of the other settlement. My friends, I bid you welcome to Lagistan Alpha. Our destination, Dothliath, that lives top. Pray follow me. Alrighty. Let's see how this goes for us. Marvelous, simply marvelous. So this is where the magic or science, rather, takes place. Perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Aetheris just happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they did because of all the available resources, I wonder? Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Get our legs. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's all the food? I believe both the knowledge and consumers you seek may be found at Mariel Agronomics. As I imagine Sigmund and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, perhaps they'll be so kind as to export our visiting Colarian. Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see with firsthand some of the delicacies J was telling me about. He was incredibly vivid, if not a bit too verbose. Descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention Aetheris will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there's still time. Let us brook no further delay. Alright, so we're slowly making our way back more towards the first area we were in. Alright, we're about there already. This is the spot, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here. I've already spotted several of the fruits and vegetables featured in our compendium. I dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they would be willing to part with a few samples. Alright, he's accompanying us now. What a fine mess this is. It's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I rushed off my feet preparing for the Exodius. I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do down here, up there. First on the moon, and then whichever star the form decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's well planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in the new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourselves. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So where to begin? Clearly right over there. We're going to sample that. Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Let's see if they're delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less physical manner than a philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? I'd brave an erupting volcano for a choice bunch. Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, if I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next street. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. Yes, that's, Equal parts sweet and sour as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult R&J about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, so many choices, and each individual with their own personal preferences. Honestly, while you all turn your noses up to the idea of eating nothing but carrots, marvelous though they still are in my estimation, no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, I have to sum any of the vegetables. Let's see what else is in the field over there. So I think these are like pumpkins, I think? Color, the texture. Are these some sort of enormous round carrots? No, in any case, proper nomenclature is no less of a concern than the task. Blech, it's so hard and flavorless. I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. That's all but confirms it. These are nothing more than the spaghetti failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Stop, stop, stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. You don't find it an awful bother. Far from it, cooking is a joy unto itself. What's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential for produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of the most favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. But perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter could become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder, though, if there's anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? What are they talking about? Is that like... Is that going to be a lemon, maybe? I think it is. What a wonderful fragrance. If lucky, I'll have a flavor to match. As I have no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. Ugh. My tongue is this poison. A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? How could something so similar to an orange be so revolting? It may be some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I'd best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. You've finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. I'm rather enamored with the grapes and oranges, less so with the pumpkin, though I've learned the hard way that they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated. First time, was it? I hate for you to leave a bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one, so I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon, have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity of, oof, bit of stick came up there. There are more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin, do your worst. This is delicious. Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See, we rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes. The same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal. Sometimes there can be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us, no doubt the form agonized over what was worth preserving. What must be consigned to history, hard choices, but make them what we must if we are to survive. Such strength of will. Now I know what Highland sees in your kind. Mankind, the Loporrits, were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therefore lies in its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. It is the paradox of an immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the cost incurred in the futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. Pardon my Orosian, but what in the seven hells are you on about, and who are you anyway? Cooking way at your service, I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of XIV's species as possible if you're up to the challenge. Yes, of course, I look forward to it. Well, this has been highly productive, probably. Let's go and see if R&J and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? Well, that was informative. I'm going ahead and see what's going on with the others. Green slimes, almost 10 levels below me. It was most enlightening, especially the part of the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? The Far East has oodles of noodles. Would that I have time to visit? The more I learn of Aetheris, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days. Alas, Hydaelyn's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. footgear, nice. Our trust-like time at Marigold Economics did bear fruit. Our own efforts, too, were rewarded. Well, we now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them and us for a fortnight, but as time is of the essence. Let's return to Charlene Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every elaborate there, should further questions within my power to answer arise. Aww. Where's Grung Way at? Okay, he's right there with the Charlene Hamlet, so we'll just teleport over there. In fact, this is probably a good stop to stop the video for now, as we move into, assumably probably heading towards the other Aetheryte settlement, I'm sure, for long, so see you guys then.